Hello there, Chad Remington here, your lead expert reporter of the prestigious Diamond Dynasty League. Back here with you for a Week 14 power rankings and a playoff preview. Um, we are going to try to make this a quick video. I know we say that every time, but we're going to skip on the non-playoff teams. We'll touch them very quickly, and we'll focus on the playoff teams so we get this video going. The old power rankings, we've done a little pre-preview for the power rankings. We makes sense to put the bottom 8 teams at the bottom 8 spots, right? So it save some time. Did this before, and I don't want to say that I'm good at my job, but I'm pretty damn good at my job, and that's why they pay me the big bucks here. But playoff teams in green, non-playoff teams in orange. Since we figured things out week 6 here, and highest the non-playoff team ever was 7. Week 10 8, and I'm damn good. That's all I can say. But and for the dynasty power rankings, not too much has changed since week 10. There was a couple trades where people acquired some picks and traded away some picks, so that might affect the power rankings, but they're going to be pretty minimal. There wasn't any major trades past week 10, so even these dynasty power rankings are pretty the same. We'll cover these first. Pretty much, I kind of kept them the same as how teams finished. Brian's team really fell off a cliff, and that's all right. But Chris' team stopped showing up, but they have promising teams. I guess we'll talk about the dynasty power rankings, but pretty much how the teams finished. I moved up Evan and Kyle because Evan's team almost had a miracle run and made the playoffs in the prestigious conference. That would have been pretty awesome to see. And Kyle's team, even though he traded away a shit ton of his players, was still getting W's, so moved him up here. And I think Ryan had a very, very good team that missed the playoffs. So he gets the top non-playoff team spot here. And dynasty rankings, comparing to where we had him before, kept Evan the number 1 spot. Even deserves it more with how his team went off towards the end of the season. We believed in his team the whole time. So, and Kyle and Jason, I think these can be flip-flopped. I put Kyle up before Jason because Kyle's got a couple young, good running backs, and Jason's got some young receivers, and I think it's going to be easier to find receivers in these upcoming drafts. Rather I can't talk. This is going to be a long video. Rather than running backs, so I swapped these two. We'll see. Brian keeps the same. I moved up Ryan and Chris. Maybe we'll go into teams quick. Ryan's team I really like. Lenny Fournette's still 26. He's really emerged these last few weeks, so maybe he's got more of a future than I thought. Debo is insane and doesn't even catch passes anymore. Terry McLaurin is always a stud, and I just really like the young players on Ryan's team. McCaffrey and Etienne. No more frickin' the devil Urban Meyer. Just hate that guy. I won't make this a 5-minute longer video than it needs to be, but next year without him should be good. So I felt like moving up a spot for Ryan was fair, and Chris acquired a pick. So I moved up another spot. I still like Chris's team too. He's got a couple young studs on his team, and I know he's got Delvin Cook on it, and I think he'll be able to. He's gonna. I think inside sources say he's gonna trade him away for some good old picks and players there. So I think he's got some young studs plus Delvin Cook. I moved him up a spot. Eric kind of kept him the same. We'll do a quick cover of Eric's team. We'll show everyone some respect here, for why I put you somewhere. Lamar, Lamar's a monster. He just got to stay healthy. I think if he stays healthy, your team will always look good. T. Higgins is finally emerging as it's showing what he was last year. And Mike Davis is why I was very high on your team. He had a terrible year. Kind of sucks. Zach Ertz in Arizona has been really solid. At least I thought. Yeah, 28, pretty good games. So he is pretty darn old. So maybe Dynasty's ranking for that isn't very nice. But your bench isn't that great. A.J. Brown has always struggled with injuries, which kind of sucks. Dallas Goedert I think is a very good tight end. He's finally on his own, so I think that kind of deserves a boost in dynasty. And Dobbins, I think Dobbins is going to have a monster year next year. So I'd still like your team. I think maybe this might be a little harsh of a rating, honestly. Maybe we'll put him up one here. I really think Dobbins is going to be a top running back next year. But going on, Tyler, I'm going to bite my tongue a lot here, but you shouldn't have made the playoff trade. We said that weeks ago. Uh, you still have a lot of good players. Tua, I think, is going to be pretty good. Stevenson might work out. You still have a lot of studs. James Robinson might be better next year. It depends who takes over, and ETN's there too, though. But the bench is pretty trash. St. Brown's pretty good. So you have a lot of older players that are still studs. Do I think you'll be able to manage it? I don't know. But I really think I could put you like any of these three spots. It's like, will you manage well here, how your team is currently? Bad, Tyler. So we're going to keep you right in the middle here for right now. We'll move you up. Maybe we'll move you back down. We'll give you a spot for right here. So going on. That's Dynasty Rankings. That took probably a few more minutes than I wanted to. And here is the draft lottery little sheet for it. So Brian has the highest odds for the draft lottery for the first pick at 23. Then we go Tyler, Chris, Jason, Evan, Kyle, Ryan, Eric. These are the percentages. I won't read them out loud. I think you all can read. At least, I hope so. Some of you guys manage your teams like you can't, but and here's the potential lowest, which is for Brian is if he doesn't get the first or second pick, the lowest pick he can get is the third pick. So self-explanatory. If you have any questions, reach out to the commissioner of the league. He's a great guy, really funny guy, so reach out to him. But let's go on to these wonderful playoff breakdowns. Where is it? There it is. So, quick overview. We got the Diamond Conference here. Brad Barkwitz against Dave. Aaron against Steve. And the prestigious conference, we got Kevin versus Matt and Brownlee versus Dean. Not going to lie. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but the Diamond Conference is very strong this season. Before we do our power rankings, I would assume that these are the top three teams. They're all in one conference. Nothing against, Dave. I don't want to say top four, but, top three for sure. We'll see how we rate them, but prestigious conference is not that strong this season, but, there's promise there. So, let's go on. Let's do, we'll start at the lowest of each. We'll start with Brownlee and Dean here. This matchup. How do we get here on this wonderful website? Here it is. The Step Bros. This is not the one that I wanted to cover. I wanted to cover Matt, the 2 and 3 seeds for each conference first. Matt's a neat team. Matthew Mills and Kevin Weiland, the Rocket City Trash Pandas. My picture is too big. I apologize about that. All right. We got, on Matt's side, we got Dak. Barkley's look like he's practicing. Montgomery's back to healthy. O'Shaughnessy, I think I pronounced that right. I've never said that name before. Is not a good look in your tight end, but I don't know. I mean, he's been getting some points. Colby's, I think, is a very good flex. Sony, I think this is going to define if Henderson is playing or not. So, and Henderson's on this side. This would be a lot easier if I did this Sunday, and COVID's going crazy. So, but a colleague of mine, Brad Barkwitz, does it Thursdays too. So I got to respect that, and we got to do these before the Thursday games. Makes it a little tougher, but if Henderson's in, this is a nice play. Or if he's out, it's a nice play. If he's in, not as nice. Latavius is, I don't really like this play, but it's your last flex spot. I do think you should have made a trade, Matt. I think you'd be probably competing for. Lockett hurt. Okay, Lockett being out really hurts. Alex Collins out being also does hurt. Jalen Rager, how's he been? Not so great. No surprise. Nico Collins, I do like Nico. He had a good game last week. Darren Waller out sucks. So, okay, you kind of got a little injury bug. Kind of makes sense. If your team, didn't have the injury bug, your team would be a lot better. I think you kind of almost you'll wreck this matchup. Um, I do think you should have made a trade, but we'll not keep commenting about that. Um, if you had some more depth to your team would be a lot stronger. Let's go to Kevin's side. Maybe we should rank. Well, let's do Kevin first. Aaron Rodgers, Chubb, Eckler. I have a very close friend who's in a another fantasy football league, and against these three guys, I do not rooting for these three guys. That's all I can say. And I do think Chubb will have a monster night. I don't want to say it, but Eckler to be determined. If he doesn't play, that would really suck, right? I still think he'll be solid. I think KC. There's no way this KC Chargers game isn't a crazy shootout, right? Both defenses suck. Maybe they prove me wrong. Oh, we're supposed to hide this. Whoops. So, going on. Marquise Brown, I don't think looks like he's going to play. Pringle is a starting receiver. You'd love to see it on Thursday. Hopefully, obviously if he gets a touchdown, he'll be good. Conklin, Foreman, Laquan Treadwell. Whew. Hot diggity dog. Henderson might not play. Let's look at who you might flex in. McKissick. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. Kevin, you hit the injury bug. You kept feeding it to your players. I don't know why you did that, but you kept doing it. And your team is banged up. I think your team had a lot of promise, and you just got kind of unlucky. Predictions, I think Matt wins this matchup. I need a drink. Matt's going to win this matchup. I think Matt has a pretty solid team. He does have some couple players out though, so I think Matt goes here. Kevin, I gotta put you down here. I'm sorry, bud. And I think for Dynasty, it's just so many injuries. And I think Matt's gonna go somewhere around here. He still has all his draft picks. I do think we've talked about it before. You have like a very mix of we've mentioned it before, of young and old players, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So I do think you'll be able to manage it in the future. Kind of same with Kevin. Kind of trade off the old players for things. So I think both these guys will manage their teams successfully, get things moving in the right direction for the future when they need to. But for right now, they're kind of on this side. So let's go on. Let's try to keep on chucking along. We got the 2-3 seed of Chad Remington Blows and the Chudley Cannon, Steve Mann, Aaron Flapp. I hate this team. I hate this guy. Everything about him. Just kidding. Taysom Hill. Patterson's been insane. Javonte Williams is not practicing. Diggs, Adams, Gronk. Trading for Gronk was a huge trade for you. Eli Mitchell, will he play? Penny looks like it's gonna be a freaking wonderful playoff pickup here. Marvin Jones can flex in. Still got even Jalen Hurts here. Tim Patrick, you don't have too much depth. Looks like Steve's kind of, if Steve plays you next week, maybe you have an injury too, and Steve might have a big advantage, but Steve's kind of catching Steve's a little unlucky catching this week where everyone's kind of healthy and ready to go on your team. Kareem Hunt, with the exception. I can't see IR here. I don't think so. I don't know if you're missing somebody else, but I mean, this team's looking good. Quick summary: everything is coming together for this team. A lot of these players have stepped up. Gronk's back to healthy. Penny's stepped up. If Eli Mitchell plays a game in the next 3 weeks for you, that's going to be huge. And Patterson's a monster if he stays healthy. Quarterback's not so great, but even Taysom Hill does produce. Wow, I didn't even know he was producing that much. It's a really solid squad. That's all I'm going to say right now for Aaron's, and let's go on to Steve's. Thomas Brady, the GOAT. Aaron Jones out with a sickness. Hope he comes back strong for some other reasons that I won't speak about. Devonta Freeman is having a monster year. Mike Evans catches a touchdown every week. I think Kelsey's going to have a monster game tonight. He could absolutely blow up. Bateman, I think that he even has a bigger game Like, I think this guy is going to have a monster game on Sunday against Green Bay. Myers, and then this New England Indy game. This might be like a very low scoring game. It's two really I think are just grinder teams. Mac Jones, I don't know if he's healthy or not, even to throw to Jacoby. I obviously like Jacoby. I think he's talented, but this right now is just a rough. This New England offense is just all running. If Damian Harris isn't gonna be out there for that, that's gonna not be good. You do have Bolden, which is nice at least. If Damian Harris is out, Herbert, forgot about Herbert. Oh man, Thomas Brady or Herbert. I mean I might play Herbert over Thomas Brady. The Saints defense always scares me. Tampa Bay is at home though, which is big. It is almost one of those things I don't think you can go wrong, but whew, this KC Chargers game might be wild. And let's look at this depth. In case Damian can't go, we got Bolden, Shepard. Yeah, so we have some depth. We remember that. I think your team is just as good as Aaron's. I think Aaron's is coming along at the right time, though. I think this is kind of unfortunate that you guys have to run into each other first round. I'm going to say the winner. I might make a hot take right here without looking at other teams and say the winner of this matchup is going to win the championship. It does suck that you have to play each other, like I already said. I'm going to have to go with Aaron, though, for this week. If you guys play each other next week, I might have a different prediction, but I think you guys are the top two. I might put Steve down here for safety's sake. I think you got to be the number 2 team. And for Dynasty, we'll do these really quick. Aaron traded away a pick for Gronk, so I'm going to put him down here. His team is a little older, but I do think he'll be able to trade like Diggs and Abs, and I think he'll be managing that properly. And Steve traded away a couple picks. I think he has some stud receivers that are really stepping up. The running backs are a little iffy. Damian Harris is pretty solid, though. Where do we have you last time? Let's look at that. At 13. All right, we'll put you right here. We'll put you once you trade away a pick, right? That makes sense. You could probably go up to 12 too, like somewhere around here. These can be swapped around, right? So anyway, going on. We spent a little time too long on this matchup, but deservedly so. These are two really good teams. I think the winner is going to be Aaron, and I think he goes in the championship and wins the championship. We are going on back to the prestigious conference, which is Blackout Brownlee and the Step Bros. We love the Step Bros. We haven't hit that this entire season. He snuck in the playoffs. I think his team is better than how they've been playing, but Burrow was hurt. It looks like he's kind of back healthy. I don't know. Singletary is number 1 running back. CH is back and healthy. Mari Cooper, Just Jefferson should have been like I'll say number 2 pick. Should have been the number 1 receiver off the board. Should have been picked over a lot of mustache. A little weird today. It's not very equal. Not very even. Just Jefferson should have been like the number 2 pick, I think, behind the Indy running back who I can't think of right now, Jonathan Taylor. But, so absolute stud, and for dynasty purposes, stud. Cameron Brayton, the tight end, not good. Not a good look right there. Renfro, like, Robbie. I think he had a pretty good game last week. Will he do it again? Against Buffalo, it's pretty tough. That probably, maybe it works out. Maybe he touches a long touchdown. That ain't good. That ain't a good look. Yikes. Dean Wood. I can't see the IR spots. You got some Craig Reynolds here, though. Hawkinson being out. That makes sense. I also think you traded away Gronk, right? So, Gronk would be really nice to have right now. Sucks that TJ's out for this season. Hey, this guy's been pretty alright. He's got a lot of promise. Team's not looking too hot right now, though, with starting this dude in your flex and Cameron Brate. But I love all the young studs on it. Good looking young studs there. Let's go to Brownlee. Russie is back healthy, but he has really sucked. I think he's still producing numbers, but those games are not fun to watch right now. Joe Mixon, James Conner is been an absolute monster. He's really picking up your team when they really needed it. TJ Boyd, even Tyler Boyd, I don't want to call him TJ. I think all his friends call him TJ. He's even stepping it up. Gesicki's doing all right. Julio, yikes, these flex spots. Carter, Crowder. Oh, you should have if there was anyone who should have made a trade, it was you, Brownlee. Um, to kind of secure getting into the championship, and you did not. This might come back and bite you. I think that will come back and bite you. If you made a trade and you had some depth here, you kind of had a stud here rather than a first round pick or a second round pick. I mean, your team's looking a lot different. You're coasting into championship game potentially. So just a mistake. I think poor management, in my opinion. Based on these disgusting flex spots, I think I'm gonna have to go with Brownlee though. I don't know. Dean's teams always calls to me, but I think I'll go Brownlee here. I don't even think Brownlee's. Ugh. I can't look at the IR, so I don't know. Oh, well, Derrick Henry. I think I go Step Bros here. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that, but this team just is not. Keenan Allen, I kind of skipped over him. That makes me feel a little better seeing that for your team. Julio, I mean, he'll probably sit out the whole second quarter. I guess Terry McLaurin might be out, right? He's got 5 targets. Oh, God. Jameson Crowder with Eli. I mean, you kind of have these guys who are not good, but they're de facto wide receiver 1/2s. I like Hunter. Gosh darn it. All right, it's a tie. We're gonna pick Brownlee. We're doing Sepros. We're going back Sepros. We're ending it here. I'm sorry I spent so much time on that. That being said, Brownlee, I think your team's down here, man. We'll put it in 4. We'll give a little respect. Dean, your team might win though. All right. Oh, we gotta do future. Dean, team goes up here. Young studs. I don't know. I'm hit enter. We spent way too long on that matchup. I apologize about that. Let's move on to the Catalina Cockchafers and the Delaware Spiders. Brad's team has been arguably the number 1 team the entire season. Josh Allen, I don't think he has a big week this week. I think it's going to be a pretty underwhelming week for him, unfortunately. But maybe proves wrong. I am a big fan of his. Zeke has just not looked right, but with Tony out, he at least gets some good numbers. Tony Pollard might be back in though, and I think you do have him. So maybe it's a good week to do it. Melvin isn't practicing, but Devontae's out too. Tyreek will probably have an insane monster game. Claypool, hate this guy. I don't know what to think about that guy. Jared Cook, I cannot stand this tight end. I was going to say Torrey Smith's back in the league. Traquan Smith, not probably doing too much. Nope. Mark Andrews is an absolute monster. Will he keep it up against Green Bay? Probably. So you have some monsters, Tyreek and Mark Andrews on your team. Josh Allen always has the potential, but Pollard. Let's look at this depth to this team in case shit hits the fan. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Thielen out, Antonio Brown being out for a while now. Thielen out really hurts your team, doesn't it? Your team is on the downslope, but let's go on. I still like your team. You got a couple songs, but I don't know. This is a pretty rough week for you, in my opinion. Dave Genuitz, the Delaware Spiders. We got Matty Stafford. Good game, bad game. What are we going to get out of him? Who knows? Divisional game against Seattle. Najee Harris, I think, is a monster game. Antonio Gibson, a Philly defense, I don't know what's going to happen this game. I think, before I keep going on this team, I think a lot's going to come down on Stafford and Gibson. If these guys both have a good week, I think you might win this matchup. Jerry Jeudy against Cincy, which will either be a 9-point game or like a 50-point game, in my opinion. Mike Williams, it's going to be a shootout. Ingram. Gaskin should be coming back, I believe, which would be really good for your team. Van Jefferson has been producing pretty darn solidly the last few weeks. Yeah, 16, 13, 13, pretty freaking good. Empty flex spot, love to see that. Probably got a Monday night play or something that you're keeping out. Okay, Jeff Wilson and Hasty here. So one of these guys will probably play. If Eli Mitchell doesn't play, it's a giant boost to your team. Gage, Mooney. Love Mooney. There's the Monday night guy. Mooney. Um, Big fan of Mooney, but don't know how that many. That might be a very low scoring game as well. But always potential for a long touchdown. A lot is riding on whether other players in the league will play this week or not. Mostly, Gaskins or, Eli Mitchell for your 49ers running backs. I'm leaning towards Dave's team this week. I really like, I will repeat it. I think Stafford and Gibson will really determine this matchup. If these guys have some good games, I think he wins this matchup. And I think Brad's team just has some pretty tough matchups. But, I mean, if Tyreek and Mark Andrews go off, maybe they can, double and counteract what Stafford and Gibson could potentially do for this matchup. I'm going to predict Dave, though. That being said, Brad does have a top team. I think this is a rough week for him. And honestly, Dave could probably go in 5 or 6. We'll put him at 6 right here. And Brad does have a lot of draft picks. I think still. So we'll put him up here. And he's got a lot of young players that are pretty gosh darn good. I can't see IR, which kind of is tough for both these teams. Dave has a lot of. Dave does not deserve to be this low, though. This is where I put him last time. Yeah, 14. That's 12. Yeah. We're going down here. Dave has really good young running backs. Jerry Jeudy is a really good receiver, but past that, his team is kind of donezo. I obviously think he'll be able to manage it. I have respect for Dave and his management skills. We'll put him down here for right now. We'll put him in the same spot. So we'll do some quick tier breakdowns right here, and then we'll get into the quick recap of playoff predictions for anyone that cares, if anyone cares. Top 3 teams, no doubt about it, I think are Aaron, Steve, and Brad. One of these teams, I believe, will be winning the championship. I could say one of these 3 teams will make the championship. That's not a pretty hot take, and I do think another, Matt Brownlee, Dave. Brownlee can walk into the championship, so can Matt, and that makes him, puts him up here. And Dave's got a rough, tough road ahead of him. And Dean and Kev, Kev hip injury bug. Dean, like your team, is just, going against some other good squads here. But anyway, going on. Dynasty. This one's going to be pretty tough here. I think I want to put one. I really like Ryan and Chris's team. Brad's team's also pretty good, though, too. I think it's not really fair to put a line here, because I also like Eric and Aaron's team, too. We're gonna take the easy way out here, put a giant tier here. Maybe if I were to put another one, we'll put a dot. Can we put a dotted line here? No, we can't. Well, fuck it. We'll be ballsy here. Put another tier. And then I think these next 3 teams, and then Tyler, Brownlee, Kev. Maybe we'll spend. Sorry, some technical difficulties there. Moving on. We'll put Tyler in the upper bracket. It'll be nice. Playoff, quick summary. Let's look at this old wonderful bracket here. Let's also stop saying wonderful. So I think Dave upsets Brad. I predict Aaron to win this matchup. I think the winner of this matchup wins the championship. So Dave versus Aaron here. I think Aaron wins and goes in the championship. And this is all in case they don't make a video next week. But I don't know if I will or not. Will depend. It will depend. And then from the prestigious conference, I think Matt is going to be Kev. And then I think Dean is going to upset Brownlee here. So we'll have Matt and Dean. I think Matt kind of walks into the championship. I don't know what the matchups for all the teams look for week 16 right now, but I think Matt will beat Dean, and then we'll have an Aaron Matt championship. One kind of just walks in. Kind of a common theme with Matt's team. No matter what fantasy teams he's in, he just kind of walks in the championship. Doing something right, I guess. And I think Aaron will win the championship. We'll see if we make another video if we need to, if things change. But thanks for watching. Love you guys. Hate you guys. Have a great one. Best of luck in the playoffs and in the draft. See ya.